You're listening to DraftKings Network.
God bless football, Billy Gill.
God bless football, Mikey, eh?
God bless football, Fuentes.
What happened, Fuentes? He just gave you the
Come
tugboat
on!
finger. I mean, what are you doing? Just say God bless football, Stugotz.
God bless football, Stugotz.
He doesn't have a mic. He said God bless football, Stugotz. Billy, it is May. It is. We've arrived at May. It's a very slow time on the NFL calendar.
It is. Yes, the draft happened. Free agency has happened.
Yeah.
It's a slower time.
The schedule has happened.
Calendar.
Yeah.
Schedule has been released.
Yeah.
We have OTAs.
Yeah.
Who's going to show up? Who's not going to show up? Franchise tags are out and about, or whatever you do with franchise tags. And
you tag people.
This is the slow time. This is the slow time on the football calendar. But that doesn't mean that this is going to be a slow episode, because Stugotz.
Yes.
At some point in this episode, I'm going to tell you a story of someone that I met over the weekend who has changed the world. Also, I have a game of or
Wow.
and Mikey has a game.
Wow.
I'm sure you have top fives. You always have top fives at the ready. So don't tune out. Yes, it's a slow time on the football calendar, but we're here to get you through it together as one big, happy, God bless football support group family. We're going to get through this slow time together.
Very well said. Mikey, what is the name of your game? What is this game? I'm excited that you have a game. What are we doing with it?
So it had a bad name, and then Billy came in and helped me out, and
Right.
it's now called More Mikely.
Oh,
Ooh.
wow. Oh, my
I'm
God.
More
excited.
Mikely is now the name of this game, yes.
Mikey,
I love this.
How do you feel? Billy and I were discussing earlier this week that, and I think it's a great take by Billy, that Tua is too nice. Like, he's not going to hold out. He is too nice to hold out. The Dolphins have yet to sign him to that big deal. It's going to be like $55 million. And I am totally with Billy. This is a time where Tua should not be showing his face around that facility, yet he keeps showing his face around the facility.
There was some talk, Mikey, that Tua should not show up and would not show up until he gets the contract extension that, people think he deserves, that he wants. You've seen the quarterbacks that are getting, contracts around the league. It's over $50 million. So then there's the question, does Tua get over $50 million? Should he hold out until he gets that deal? Is he risking getting the franchise tag? As we said, it's tagging season. And we were discussing, Mikey, and you can agree or disagree on this, Tua's too nice to hold out. Tua's going to go in there, and he's going to think that being a nice guy is going to get him what he wants. And here's the deal. Tua also dropped, I believe, 10 pounds. So now he's even lighter and easier to push around by the organization. So a little worried that Tua's going to go in there, and they're just going to rough him up, and they're not going to give him what it is that he deserves.
As opposed to Jordan Love, who has said if he doesn't get his contract, he's already skipping OTAs. He's already making a big noise about it. Who gets paid first? Jordan Love or the nice guy?
Jordan Love needs to calm down. Do it again. Do it again, Jordan Love.
Well, you strike while the iron's hot. What are you talking
Relax.
about? No, he had his good
I'm
season.
with you. I'm with you. But if
Right.
I'm the Packers, I'd be like, Jordan,
Right.
pump the brakes.
Do it
Do
again.
it once, Tua.
I love that people are saying, I heard this on the ESPN morning show. Chris Canty was saying it, that he's okay with signing Trevor Lawrence to a long-term contract, but he's not confident in Tua because of his health. Tua started every game last year. Lawrence missed one or two. What are we doing here with Tua? It's crazy. But Tua's never going to get his way, Billy. You're right, unless he decides to hold out. He has to stop being a nice guy.
Yeah.
That's such a
Yeah.
weird
And I don't know that he has it in him. He's such a nice guy.
I know.
I don't know that he can do it.
I think he'll play under the current contract next year.
I hope he doesn't for his sake. Honestly, I really hope he doesn't.
I know. So you're telling Jordan Love basically, hey, do it again? Like you had one season, enough, knock it off?
Yeah, pump the brakes.
Okay.
Also, Jared Goff making $50 million is crazy to me.
It's crazy.
That's
Yes.
crazy to me.
It's crazy. But that's how listen, right or wrong, that's how the quarterback position works. I mean, when your contract's up, you get slotted in right above the next guy.
Well,
it's
I'm
patently
also
absurd.
I'm also saying it's crazy to me, but like if you look back at last season, you're a couple boneheaded coaching decisions away from him leading his team to the Super Bowl last year.
Yes.
Like, had things played out slightly differently, the Lions could have been in the Super Bowl. And Jared Goff kind of had them on track the entire season.
Yes. Jordan Love is good though, Billy. Like if you're not going to hold that, you're essentially telling him not to do what Tua should be doing. You know,
correct?
Like,
yeah,
right.
Yeah, but I like Tua. I don't have a Jordan Love jersey on my wall.
Right.
Plus,
I mean,
the Packers put themselves in this situation by waiting until the final year, to play him, and now all of a sudden they're like, "Well, you got to show it to us again." Well, you should have let me start earlier. Maybe
right.
I would have.
If I'm Jordan Love, I sit out and I make them pay me. I do. Same with Tua, by the way. Like you got to sit out and make the team pay you. Stop showing up.
Here's the thing interesting in Dolphin territory. So the Dolphins have Mike White under contract, but also there's rumors that Ryan Tannehill may make his way back down to Miami.
Ooh, I don't like that at all.
I don't like that for Tua at all either.
No, because
I don't like that either.
He's the kind of backup that is just good enough where the Dolphin fans, if things are going wrong with Tua in any particular game, you'll start hearing Tannehill. He's just good enough where he might get some playing time. And if he gets playing time and gets hot, then he's the starter for 3 or 4 weeks. Not good for Tua.
Which is insane because he was run out of town for being Ryan Tannehill. And now if he comes back, people are going to long for Tannehill anytime Tua struggles.
Yes.
And it's ridiculous. And I don't know how good Will Levis is, if we're going to be honest with you, Tennessee.
Right.
Like, what are you doing?
He's spicy today, Mikey.
Let me tell you something. Will Levis, get your ass on that field. You do not hold out. You do not do anything. You play, okay?
Right.
You're not good enough for shenanigans.
Well, he has no choice. He has to play.
Well, I'm telling he has no choice because I just told him he has to.
Oh, is that the reason?
That's how it works, yeah.
So Tannehill coming down to the Dolphins. I'm with you. He's one of those backups where if you're the starter, that's not the guy you want standing behind your shoulder. You don't.
No.
You just don't. Fuentes now wants the top 5 quarterbacks that you don't want standing over your shoulder. I'm on it, Fuentes, okay?
He's in the Minshew. He's in the Minshew class of he can take you. He can win you a playoff game if he ends up on that field.
I think that face is perfect. Top 5 quarterback. Do that face again.
Get a little nervous. Imagine if they signed Tannehill and they're like, Tua, we'd love to give you a deal, but Ryan took some of your money, so you're going to have to take less. And then you're like, oh, crap. So this guy's going to take my money and my playing time this year, probably.
I mean, the way it's going for Tua right now, he's going to make less money than Tannehill.
Yeah, it's possible. Here's I'd like to just take a moment to issue an apology to Will Levis, because I have a policy. I haven't discussed this policy with you guys, but I have a policy that I'd like to discuss with you guys. If you've been on this show, I like you, and we're going to be nice to you, unless you were terrible. And Will Levis wasn't terrible.
He was great.
And I just forgot that he was on the show.
Yep.
So Will Levis is good in my books.
He was on during Super Bowl week, and he was a big ping pong player. We liked Will Levis. You're right, Billy. Yes, we don't slam him until there's a reason to slam him. You know.
Yeah, correct. And Jordan Love, open invitation. If you come on the show, then I will support your holdout.
Right.
Come on. In fact, Jordan Love, do this. Open invitation. Come on this show and make waves. We'll let you say whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Any message you have for the Packers, we will be the home of Jordan Love's holdout. If Jordan Love is willing to come on here and make us the home of his holdout, say anything you want within reason. Don't go crazy, nothing offensive, but go and say whatever you want in regards to this holdout. You can say it here, open microphone, nothing offensive.
But only here.
He's the Jets quarterback.
Yeah. Who?
Can't wait till he's the Jets quarterback.
Well, yes, when he's 37. And his best years.
See how this holdout goes.
And his best years are behind him.
I have a fun game for the Jets fans.
What? There aren't enough fun
It's called
games.
Would You Rather. Okay. Now we have to enter a time machine.
Yeah.
And we have to go back 1 calendar year.
Okay.
And now remember, you've gone back 1 calendar year.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, as I'm working out this game, this will be similar to like the Back to the Future game where you have the results. Like you have the book that gives you all of the stats from last season, which
Right.
is why this is a fun game.
Mm-hmm.
So you go back one calendar year,
Right.
you open up the stats book.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather have have Packers quarterback Jordan Love or Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers on your Jets?
Wow. But I'm armed with the stats. I know what happened, is what you're saying.
Correct.
So I know Aaron tears his Achilles 3 plays in. I know Jordan Love has a breakout season. Although, does he have a breakout season if he's the Jets quarterback? Does Aaron tear his Achilles if he's playing for
Jordan
Green Bay?
tear his Achilles?
Right. Does Jordan tear his Achilles and Aaron goes on to win like his 4th MVP? Wow, this is a good game.
Would you rather?
Oh, man. Mikey, I'm torn. I mean,
I think I'm probably more devastated with what actually happened. So give me Jordan Love.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. But then Jordan,
Because if we trade for Jordan Love and then he's terrible and tears his Achilles, that hurts more than Aaron Rodgers would have been good. We're so sure, but he tore his Achilles.
do the Jets have the same offensive coordinator?
Yes.
So none.
I would take. I mean, how could I not take Jordan Love? Of course, Aaron tears his Achilles 3 games in, 3 plays in. I take Jordan Love.
Okay.
I take. What do you
this
mean?
down.
Okay, like what are you doing there? Are you saying Jordan Love 3 plays in would have torn his Achilles?
I didn't say any of that. I
Okay.
just said I'm going to make a note of this. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's on a post that I'm probably going to throw away, but I'm making a note of this.
It's a lame
But it's
note to
there.
make, though.
In case you get that time machine, come back. There's the post-it.
Would you rather?
on this post-it, for some reason, is written JJ McCarthy. I don't know why.
Huh?
I must have made a note of it last time.
Really? So you did throw it away?
That's my notepad. No, I'm telling you, my notepad remains here, but a lot of times I just do that. Just write down a name. I write down JJ McCarthy. It also says Cooper DeJean. Not sure why, and it says offensive line.
Huh.
So I just made those notes.
All right. Well,
Those are my notes.
streaming flow of consciousness. You're just writing it down on paper. Is that it?
Yeah, on my notepad.
But you have no idea why you
Not much
wrote down. You have no idea why you wrote down JJ McCarthy.
Not entirely positive.
Huh?
And I was going to say that I'm going to go back and listen to old episodes and figure out at what point I wrote this down, but I won't. I will not be doing that.
No.
Not going to happen.
All right.
Mel Kiper. Maybe.
Ooh. Maybe.
Maybe.
All right. Billy met someone who changed the world. We hear the story next. Billy, I have top 5 backup quarterbacks that you don't want to see if you're looking over your shoulder as a starter. You have met someone who changed the world last weekend. You met someone who changed the world. We have Mikey's game. We have your game. We got a lot of things to get to here. Where do you want to go first here? You want to go to my top 5 and then we get to the person you met that changed the world?
Absolutely. Let's do that.
All right.
Let's do it.
These are top 5 quarterbacks that if you're a starter, you don't want to look over your shoulder and see this guy because this guy is just good enough to get in the game. This guy is just good enough for the fans to start chanting his name if you're playing poorly. Number 5. Do we have the fanfare here? All right, Fuentes is ready. Number 5, Justin Fields. Not a guy you want to see. I'm telling you, he's not the guy. I mean, number 4, Russell Wilson. Who's going to be looking over whose shoulder and seeing who? Huh?
They haven't named a starter yet.
I know.
So.
Yes.
At some point, both of them.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Now there'll
I
be
agree with
another
that.
guy look over his shoulder, and what will be standing there is Russell Wilson and Justin Fields.
No, I believe there will be multiple quarterback changes this season.
Yup.
That's so good.
It's a good prediction, Mikey.
Number 3, Jameis Winston.
Oh, that's a good one.
You know, you look over your shoulder, he's standing there. You know he's good enough. You know he can throw 3 touchdowns. You know he's bad enough to throw 3 interceptions, but he's always got a smile. I mean,
the perfect description of Jameis Winston. You know he's good enough. You know he's bad enough.
right. You could be out for a while. You could be going right back in. Yeah, you never know. But he's smiling.
The fans love him, though. The fans love him.
Oh,
So
Jameis.
it's one of those that,
yes.
oh, yeah.
Fans love him, and you always question, do his teammates hate him?
Yes, you do. It's funny because Billy mentioned something in that first segment with Tannehill, which is really funny. As a starter, Tannehill not very popular. As a backup down here in Miami, he would be the most popular guy on the team. It's amazing. Yeah. Just holding a clipboard. I mean, was
Tannehill was the quarterback, right, when they were longing for Kyle Orton to come in, right? Or
yes.
am my timeline's wrong on that? They may be wrong.
No, I think you're right. Like Orton had like a 7-game stretch with the Broncos. He was amazing, right? And I think the Dolphins got him. I think you're right. I think your timeline is correct.
I don't think they ever did get him, did they? I think they were chanting for him in a preseason game because they wanted to trade for Kyle Orton, which was insane behavior.
That would be a different list. Quarterbacks you don't want playing well in another city, so your fans don't start cheering his name. I like that.
Nick Foles.
Oh, wow. Nick Foles should be on this list. Number 2, Jalen Hurts, good luck to you. When you look over your shoulder, you know who's sitting there? Kenny Pickett. That's a good one.
I don't think he's worried. I gotta be honest with you on that one. I think he's good.
I mean, he played at Pitt. It's close to Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts didn't have
played
a great
at Pitt, which is close to Pitt, and it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Right. He actually played in Pittsburgh.
Closer than Philadelphia. Pittsburgh. Yeah. It didn't work out there.
Didn't work out.
They have Fields and Wilson.
Both of them looking over each other's shoulder.
Yes.
Or their own, I guess.
That's so good. Number 1, this is obvious. I think he might be an all-timer. Number 1, the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton. That's the guy.
Where is the Red Rifle now?
I have no idea.
Carolina.
Is he really?
Really? Oh,
Carolina.
boy.
Oh, wow.
Oh, boy. That oof.
If I set the over-under on 7 starts for Andy Dalton this year, would you take the over or under? 7 starts for Andy Dalton. 7. Bryce Young is the quarterback. He's bulked up. He wasn't very good last year. People are saying great things about him this year. What do you think? 7 games for Andy Dalton. Over, under. Oh, I take the over.
I hate that number. I made it a
tough number. That's what
under.
you do. Yes.
I'll go under.
Okay.
I'll go under, but just barely.
Okay.
How old is Andy Dalton?
I don't know.
How old is he now? Let's see here. Because I'm kind of hoping, and I don't know why he's 36. I kind of want Andy Dalton to have one last ride in Cincinnati. Sit behind Joe Burrow. If Joe Burrow goes down, Red Rifle comes back in, leads the Bengals on a little bit of a run where you wonder, can he do this? And if not, and it works out with Joe Burrow, maybe Joe Burrow just kind of takes them to the promised land, and the Red Rifle gets a ring in Cincinnati where he belongs.
Yeah, I like that, Billy. He is
next week, Billy. Top 5 list of guys you want to see get one more ride.
Yeah,
ooh, okay.
I like that.
Write it down on that little piece of paper.
Andy Dalton
going right under J.J. McCarthy here.
He is 36 years old, Andy Dalton. 36 years old. So you want him to have one last ride, but you need it to be in Cincinnati, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I want him to have one last ride in Cincinnati. I mean this the most respectful way possible.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to have one last ride in Carolina. I don't think anyone deserves that.
Really? Who would be that guy?
It was Cam, but not
Gettleman.
Do you want Tannehill to have one last ride in Miami?
No, we discussed this because that's going to mess with two. I don't want that. Tannehill, stay away.
But what if he's winning football games for you?
I'd rather lose. I would rather lose football games than win with Ryan Tannehill.
You would rather lose with Ryan Tannehill?
No, I would rather lose without him than win with him.
Got you. Wow. Really? Wow. I didn't realize your hatred ran that deep for Ryan Tannehill.
That's big sports hatred right there.
Go to the Texans or something. Who's the Texans backup? Go over there. Leave me alone, Tannehill.
Who is the Texans backup? I can tell you right now,
Is it
CJ
still
Stroud is
Davis
now
Mills?
looking over his shoulder. He's not nervous. I can tell you that much.
That's right.
Is it Davis Mills?
Still Davis
It is Dave. It's Davis Mills and Case Keenum.
Wow.
Oh, and Tim Boyle. Wow, the Texans are deep.
Case Keenum. Case Keenum, good name for that list.
What, Mikey
It is.
Fuentes, come in here. What's the matter with you?
How does Tim Boyle have a job? How is he in the NFL?
Aaron Rodgers.
You're always gonna need someone. Always gonna need someone.
You never need Tim Boyle, okay? I'm going to say it now.
That's not nice.
What do you mean? On your football team. I'm certain he's a nice guy. You might need him in, other aspects of your life. You'll never need Tim Boyle to win a Super Bowl. That's all I'm saying. That's it. Too far?
I mean, not to win a Super Bowl, but
Okay.
wow, you know what?
What?
I'm looking at the Cowboys depth chart.
Yeah.
Trey Lance has fallen to third behind Cooper Rush.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Poor
funny.
Trey.
No, it's funny because Kyle Shanahan, he's the genius. They traded
Oh,
3
boy.
first-round picks to get Trey Lance.
Why did I open
Three.
this door?
Three. Think about that. 3 for a guy who was third on the depth chart on Dallas.
Of another team.
Yes. 3. I'm telling you, Brock Purdy bailed him out, man. Bailed him out. Guy should be fired. He's overrated. Anyway, Billy, you met a guy who changed the world, last week?
I did. So I was on a cruise last weekend and I met someone who has changed the world. And you guys don't know this yet because you don't know the person that I'm going to tell you. But this person has directly impacted my life, your life, Mikey, your life, Stugotz, and the lives of everybody who is listening to this show.
Really?
But you didn't know that this person changed the world. But when I tell you, you'll know this person changed the world. Now,
So you met this
here's
person on a cruise.
I did. So here's a bit of context. Here's what was going on. So
Paint us a picture.
Yeah.
my daughter has been sick on this cruise, had fevers every night. This morning she wakes up, doesn't have a fever. We're docking at Bimini in the Bahamas, and you just walk right off the ship. We are going to go to the beach that day. We're running a little bit late, so we're kind of rushed. We're trying to figure out, she was sick last night. Do we go? Do we not? Our other daughter's getting bored. She wants to do things. We decide, you know what? She seems well. She doesn't have a fever today. We're going to go over there. We'll stay in the shade. We're going to stay hydrated. Again, no fever. This should be safe. And then my, 3-year-old daughter, soon to be 3-year-old daughter, will be entertained.
Mm-hmm.
So we get off the ship. When you're traveling with kids, you have a bag and just a bunch of crap everywhere. You need to make sure, do I have the sunscreen, the water bottles? Do I have this? Do I have that? The goggles, everything, right? You think you have it all. And again, because it's the Bahamas, you're there and you're like, let me take a passport just in case they check for a photo ID when you're coming back off because it's a different country. Let me take, my key card to get back on the ship and back in the room. You're lugging around a ton of stuff.
Yep.
Right? So we have to go down where our cabin is on the 6th floor. We go down. You have to get off the boat on the 2nd floor. So we go down. We go through the security, the whole process. We have a stroller with us. We just have all of this crap with us. Get off the boat. Then we have to go find the tram that takes us to the beach, which is on the other side of the island. Before we get on the tram, as we're going to walk down the pier or the dock, whatever, I realize I didn't bring my daughter's life jacket that she needs to go splash around in the pool and in the beach. And then me and my wife have a discussion. It's like, does one of us want to hold her the entire time or do we go get it? And I said, you know what? I'm going to go get it real quick because we're not too far away from the boat. I'm just going to turn around. I'll just run right upstairs. I'll come back down. I'm going to get it. This is, it'll be quick and easy. This is going to save us a headache for the rest of the day.
Right.
This decision that I made is one of the best decisions I've ever made in my entire life.
Wow.
Because it led to a chance meeting that I didn't think I ever wanted and never expected to happen. So I go up to the room. I get the life jacket. In my head, I think, you know what? It's just 4 flights. I can kind of jog down the stairs, make it quick. And I said, let me take the elevator. Second decision that I made that I will forever cherish for the rest of my life.
Wow.
I get in the elevator. I'm holding the life jacket. Again, I'm on the 6th floor. Once I step into the elevator, I see it's lit up like a Christmas tree. 6th floor, 5th floor, 4th floor, 3rd floor, 2nd floor. I am immediately regretting this decision. I'm like, oh my goodness.
That's annoying.
Every single floor it's going to stop on, right? I'm on the 6th floor. So I get in and I look somewhat perturbed, annoyed, if you will, at the fact that it's all lit up. and there's a lovely woman who's standing in the elevator. She looks at me and says something. I think it's because of my frustration that all the lights are lit up, but she sees the hat that I'm wearing. And the hat that I'm wearing says ESPN LA on it. And it's this nice water hat. It says ESPN LA, a white hat. Used to work at ESPN. So it says ESPN LA. And she says to me, now remember, I'm on the 6th floor. She says, do you work at ESPN? And I said, well, which is a tricky question, right? Always to answer.
I still say
the
yes.
Answer's, okay, so the answer is no. I don't work at ESPN. I'm like, no, I don't. But because it's also like, how much of this story does the person actually want when they ask the question? Like, not a lot of it. So it's easier like, yeah, whatever, right? So I'm like, no, I don't, but I used to. And she's like, in LA? And I'm like, no, not in LA. I used to work at one in Miami. But, we were on in LA. I was on a show that was there. They sent us a bunch of stuff. So that's how I ended up getting the hat. So then this lovely woman, as we have now gone from the 6th floor to the 5th floor, and we've stopped because, again, every light has been lit up,
right,
says to me, my son works at ESPN. And I say, oh, wow, that's interesting. And she goes, but not, ESPN LA. He works at ESPN in Connecticut.
Oh.
So now I'm kind of like, okay, well, who is it? And in my head, I'm like, I did not work at ESPN in Connecticut. I worked at ESPN in Miami. But, maybe it's one of the few people that I knew that was in Connecticut. Maybe it's someone that Mikey knows. I can tell Mikey, hey, I met this person, right? So I say, oh, wow, really? The one in Connecticut? What department did your son work in, or what show did your son work for? I used to work on a show that was on ESPN for a number of years. Maybe we crossed paths, whatever.
Sure. By the way, the one in Connecticut is ESPN. Just so. Okay.
Yeah, that's main ESPN,
right, yes,
main
okay,
campus.
Okay. All right.
So again, this lovely woman says, my son worked at ESPN. So I say, oh, what show? What department does your son work on? And she said, ESPN Insiders. And I was like, oh, wow, ESPN Insiders. Like, didn't realize that was like a department. Like, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So I go, what's your son's name? And she goes, Adam Schefter.
What?
And I'm like, what? Wait a minute. What?
You met Mrs. Schefter?
So I'm like, hold on a second. Your son is Adam Schefter? And now the elevator's going from the 5th floor to the 4th floor.
Wow.
So I'm like, oh my God. Like, I know him. He was on a show. Like, we still do a show. And the show, he was on it like a couple weeks ago. Like, he's still on the show from time to time. And now I have like diarrhea of the mouth because I have met now a celebrity and a person who you guys are aware changed the world because she gave us Adam Schefter.
Yeah.
And then when I was looking at her
right
in that moment, I go, I can see it. I can see Adam Schefter here. So then now I'm just kind of like talking quickly. I'm like, wow, like I can't, like, wow, your son's Adam Schefter. That's unbelievable. Blah, 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 blah. Hit the 4th floor and she steps out. And then she looks back and goes to me, we'll continue this conversation later. And I'm like, okay, like, have a good day.
Wow.
And then I go down to the 2nd floor and I walk off the ship. Never saw her again. Later that night, I was walking around. When I got back, I put the ESPN LA hat back on.
You were looking
just
for her.
in case.
Yes, yeah.
Never ran into her again.
Wow.
Never got her name. Just got, my son is Adam Schefter.
Wow. It's a great story. I mean, she changed the world. I'm going to get her on the pod, okay? I am. Can I get her on the pod?
I was worried when I told you this story that Adam Schefter's
that would be his first
be on the podcast in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, next week.
Yeah.
I want to know if she spent the rest of the cruise avoiding you.
Mrs. Schefter on a cruise in the Bahamas with me.
She changed the world. She did.
Small world, and a world that she changed.
It is a small world. Long elevator ride, but small world.
It was the shortest elevator ride ever. And then in my head, I'm like, man, I really messed that up. Like, I didn't say the right things.
No.
It was literally like I had a chance at an elevator pitch and I botched it with Adam Schefter's mom.
What'd you want to pitch? Just your friendship?
Not even a pitch. Just like, your son's so nice. What a great guy, hard worker, all this stuff.
Right.
Just say nice things about her son, which I actually believe.
Yes.
And, mean, but didn't say anything. As soon as she said, I'm Adam Schefter's mom. And here's the funny thing. In the back of my head,
right,
in that split second when she said NFL Insiders, I thought in my head, am I talking to Field Yates' mom? But no, Adam Schefter's mom. Crazy. And we're back.
We are.
Yeah, here we are.
You met Mrs. Schefter, man.
She's changed the world, right? We can agree on that.
Yes.
Not even in question.
Yeah. I mean, she gave birth to a person who changed the world. Yes. Yes. No?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but without Mrs. S, we wouldn't have Shefty.
Correct. It would be impossible.
Yeah.
Right? Are you reporting that?
I'm not. Anyway,
All right.
we have a number of games to
Yes.
get to still.
Mhm.
We have more Mikely.
Oh,
We have
wow.
or mm-mm. I don't know,
love that.
Stugotz, if you haven't. Do you have any top fives left or not? I don't remember.
I think I have one more left. We'll get to it later in the show here. I got to find it.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
perfect.
Okay.
You want to do more Mikely? Because I don't know how this game works. I just know the name of the game, and I know a small premise to the game, but I don't know how it works. So, Mikey, how does it work? Do you say something and then we say more Mikely?
That's it. You tell me which one is more Mikely.
Ooh,
Wow.
okay,
I
I
like
like this game.
this.
There we go.
Not
Do
Mikely
we get to
or
go around the
unlikely. Not
room?
Mikely or unlikely. We're just doing more Mikely.
Well, listen, we're beta testing it. We're going to try with more Mikely,
Okay.
and then we'll go from there.
Okay, so which one is more
Okay.
Mikely?
Okay.
Yes, and
Here's
yes, we go around the
All right.
room, of course. I mean, Fuentes doesn't have a mic, so we can't talk. So,
No
Okay.
Mikely.
so
yeah.
we'll start with you. We'll start with you, Stugotz.
Okay.
More Mikely to lead the Eagles in rushing touchdowns, Jalen Hurts or Saquon Barkley?
Oh wow,
Yeah.
I like this game. More Mikely.
Yeah.
Jalen
Which one is
Hurts
more Mikely?
or Saquon Barkley? I'm going to say Jalen Hurts is more likely to run for more touchdowns than Saquon
Because he ultimately
Barkley.
gets to call the play.
Yes, if he doesn't want Saquon to score, he doesn't call his number. So I'm going to go, he controls the outcome. I'm going Jalen Hurts.
It's my turn.
It is.
Yep,
Billy.
your turn.
There's three people here. Yes.
Okay, so here's the question. With Jason Kelsey out, is the Philly special no longer as special? And does that impact Jalen Hurts' touchdowns?
That's a great point by you. Because Kelsey's
That's
I
the
guess
great-
not the Philly
fantastic
special, the
point.
tush push.
the tush push. Right.
The tush push.
Because Jason
Yeah.
Kelsey is the greatest ever at that.
The
right?
brotherly shove.
Yes.
I'm gonna go.
Wow. I'm going to have to change
I'm
mine.
gonna go Saquon. I'm gonna go Saquon only to go against you so that we can have this competition. Even though we'll probably forget we played this game by
Yes,
the
we
time
will.
we have the answer to this.
I love this game. I want it to be a weekly feature. All right, so we have
Yeah.
to go. We're going to go opposite. That's what
Okay.
we're going to do here.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, then, Billy, you get first choice here.
Oh, good.
Which one? Okay. Got to think of how to word it. Okay. More likely for Tom Brady to win next, an Emmy or another Super Bowl?
Ooh,
Wow.
Great one. Great one.
Okay, so Greg Olson just won an Emmy.
The guy he's
His
replacing.
first-
Yeah.
Exactly right. His first Emmy, but he's now being demoted
Right.
for Tom Brady to kind of slide in to that position. Now, Tom Brady is largely beloved. And I'm not saying that the sports Emmys play favorites in any way whatsoever. Would never say or accuse anyone of
couldn't
that.
possibly be.
But I don't know who the voting body is. However, I also think that Tom Brady winning an Emmy would be good for the sports Emmy. I don't know why I think that, but I think that. And also, I know that the Manning cast has won 2 Emmys. And I think they've only done like two seasons, right?
Two
Right.
seasons.
Yeah.
So if they can
So
win
they've
it,
won
anyone
one-
can? Is that what you're?
They've won one every season. Now, Tom Brady is always flirting with coming back,
Mm-hmm.
but he'd have to come back to a playoff team
Right.
that's in need of a quarterback because their quarterback has gone down.
Right. Or quarterback is not playing well.
Yeah, but that if the quarterback's not playing well, they're not going to be in a position to win a Super Bowl probably.
Well, San Francisco could be. I'm just saying that's one of the places. Maybe. That's all I'm saying. It's a tough one.
Do you think that there's a Super Bowl
hard.
ready team that Tom Brady wouldn't go to?
No, the Jets.
I'm not certain.
Really?
No, I think he'd go to the Jets.
I don't.
Because I don't think, and this is kind of looping back into the one last ride, I will never see Tom Brady in a Bengals uniform. Ever.
No. Probably
If
not.
Joe Burrow goes down, Tom Brady's not going there.
Right. I agree with that.
And Jake Browning is not going to win them a Super Bowl. I shouldn't say that so surely because Jake Browning could come on the pod one day. So let me take that back.
You're really thinking this one through, huh? Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm going to say that he's going to
It's a
win.
hard one.
No. Keep going. Keep talking it through. I enjoy it.
Well, I don't see
I
Tom
got
Brady.
plenty.
I don't see him going to Dallas. And as we discussed, they have Cooper Rush, so they don't need Tom Brady. That would be
Wait
silly.
a second. So if Dak went down and Jerry calls Tom, you don't think Tom would go there?
They have Cooper Rush.
Oh, it's
And
Tom
Trey Lance.
Brady.
And Trey Lance.
They have the guys that you want when you look over your shoulder. What do you mean?
I'm also not certain that Jerry doesn't want Dak to go down. I don't think he likes Dak, if I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Basing that on nothing, I
Right.
don't think he likes Dak.
I think he's not certain of Dak. Like he gave him
Yeah.
the contract, he's going to let Dak play it out, and then they'll go from there because Dak's
gonna
in a
go
contract
Emmy.
year.
I think he wins an Emmy
Emmy.
first. Yeah.
Wow. So it's funny. Greg Olson won 2 Emmys, I think, and now Tom Brady's replacing him, making a lot more money. He asked Greg Olson for advice on how to do this. Which, I mean, that's the last
Slap
thing
in
you
the
want if
face.
you're Greg Olson, right? Right. I'm not helping you. Get the hell out of here. You're taking my job, and you're costing me money. Could I see Brady go back to the NFL? Of course I could. I'm thinking of likely teams that he might go back to if their quarterback went down.
Likely.
Very
Likely
well done.
teams, yeah.
Likely teams.
So, I mean, Billy, he took a Tampa Bay Buccaneer team that was awful for a long time, and the only change they made was him, and they won a Super Bowl.
And they replaced Jameis, who you don't want to see when you look over your shoulder.
That's a great put. Tied it all together. I am going to say that Tom Brady, I understand what you're doing here because if he's up for an Emmy, he's probably going to win the Emmy. It's good for the Emmys. They don't want to disappoint Brady. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I love this game.
I'm going to say Super Bowl.
Wow.
A Super Bowl.
Wow.
Yes.
All right.
He's going to win a Super Bowl before he wins an Emmy. How about that?
All right. Stugotz to you.
Yes.
More likely to play more games in 2024. Anthony Richardson or Aaron Rodgers?
Wow. More likely to play. Damn, these are good questions.
These are great questions.
Who was the quarterback who told Richardson to stop running and he didn't listen to him?
Trevor Lawrence.
All of them.
It was Trevor Lawrence. I think you're right. It was, it was Trevor Lawrence.
I'm so glad I'm going second on this one because I get to think.
It's a tough one. Richardson likes to run a lot. Very physical runner. Rodgers, there's no way that's going to happen. I'm going to say Aaron Rodgers. There's no way that's going to happen. Aaron Rodgers, for the most part, until last year, because he became a Jet, has been healthy. But he's still a Jet. Oh, man. But there's no way that can happen 2 years in a row. Not even to the Jets can that happen 2 years in a row. So I'm going to say Aaron Rodgers. I think I know Billy's answer. I mean,
Well, okay. Here's the thing. This is let me get the question exactly as you ask it one more time. So this is quarterback to start more games or play more games?
Play more games.
Okay.
Oh, that's different.
How?
Well, I
though?
don't-
They're
I don't-
starters.
I don't think Richardson's gonna get benched. We know Aaron's not gonna get benched. I don't think Richardson's gonna get benched.
Flacco is there.
Doesn't matter.
He's there.
No, but if he
You
struggles,
didn't even make your top 5. He didn't even make your top 5.
He should have.
Yeah.
He's on
You
the
don't
all-time
look over your
list. He's
shoulder.
on the all-time list. He is. He's on
It
the
was an
all-time list.
oversight,
Yeah,
yeah.
with Jeff Hostetler. Yep.
Frank Reich.
Oh God, that's a good one.
So Richardson plays a dangerous game, but Aaron Rodgers has the turf monster that he needs to worry about in half of his games.
Yep. Earl
And I'm
Morrall.
not saying it's going to be an ACL again, but
Yeah.
What's your offensive line looking like this year?
It's supposed to be one of the best on paper, but it's
Yeah.
on paper and they're paper thin.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, we're always good on paper, Billy.
I'm going to go
Yes.
Richardson.
It's grass where we suck. I mean,
Yeah, I'm going to go Richardson.
you're going
All
Richardson,
right,
huh?
last one.
Yep, last
Last one.
It's a great game,
Last one.
Mikey.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, I got plenty of them.
Really?
All right, Billy. more likely to last 3 more years together? Justin Jefferson and the Vikings,
Ooh.
or Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce?
Oh,
Before Billy answers that, what'd you make of Justin Jefferson being near the Jets facility?
I think there's a good Moe's Southwest Grill over there.
supposedly, I thought I read somewhere that the Vikings team owner has like property in that area, which could be why he was there, but who knows? Oh my gosh. More likely to last 3 years? I don't think either of them are going to be together in 3 years.
But who's more likely?
But who's more likely?
Yeah.
By the way, if there's a sadder place than Minnesota, it's right around Jet Stadium. I mean, that whole area is a dump. Jesus Christ.
I'm going to say more likely that Travis and Taylor are together in 3 years, which I don't feel confident about, but I'm going to say more likely.
You're going Travis and
Taylor.
And Taylor?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess I have to go Justin Jefferson now.
You don't have to.
I don't think I actually think that Kelce, I do believe this, that Travis and Taylor are super serious. Billy, I can't go Oppo here. I have to stay with you because I do think Kelce and Swift are going to be together longer. I do.
Okay.
Forever.
Do we have time for a quick opinion one? It's not really a this or that. Okay.
Yeah.
Who are you more likely to give a huge contract to? Dak Prescott or Tua? Who are you more likely?
So if we own the team,
now, who's going to
more
get
likely?
One? You own the team. More likely.
I give it Dak. Billy.
Yes.
How'd you feel about Mikey's new game, More Likely?
I'm insecure because more likely is better than or that's upcoming. And I'm not trying to downplay or I'm telling you, More Likely was a better game than we're about to play.
Really? You like his game better than your game, huh?
I did.
Listen,
I did.
some days you got to rely on the run game. I'm the run game. Some days you just,
ground and pound.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm excited for your game, Billy. I like your game. I mean,
don't be.
Why?
Not as good.
Why?
I'm telling you, just not as good. If you tune out, I'm fine.
No,
you have
don't,
my blessing.
No, don't
you
tune out. Stay right here. I mean, what are you doing?
You want to hit plus 15 all the way to the end?
Right.
I won't judge you.
Okay.
You already got the Mrs. S story. I peaked.
Yep. I've already texted Adam Schefter asking if Mrs. S could join us next week.
You need to say this is what you need to say.
Don't tell him why. Don't tell him why. Just make it awkward that you're asking for his mother to come on the podcast.
All right. Well, then she's going to say no, obviously. Anyway.
No, Schefter, he's on it, Billy. He's on it. He is.
You want to play a quick game of or
I would. Yeah, she really sold it. Yep, I want to play it.
Okay. The first one. Or For those of you who are experiencing this game for the first time, I will give a prompt, a question, if you will, with a little bit of information. Then Stugotz, or
Okay.
Okay. Mikey, you as well, if you'd like to play or
Very nice of you.
All right. First one. Peyton Manning, fresh off winning another Emmy, as we discussed for the Manning cast, was asked if he'd be interested in running a team. Peyton Manning said no. He likes doing the Manning cast and he likes the time with his family. Stugotz, or
On whether he's telling the truth or not? I mean.
Or Okay.
Yeah.
Mikey?
I'm going to go and the reason being, if he were to say yes, he was interested, then it would only be the bad teams like the Jets that would come calling him.
We're supposed to give
run
reasons?
the team?
I thought it was just or
Listen, if you're not prepared for the game, if you're
okay.
not prepared for the game, that's fine. You don't have to, take it out on Mikey. You couldn't see him going to Denver, maybe Indy, nothing.
Nah, I can't.
Okay. All right, well, no follow-ups.
Yeah.
Okay. Ready for the next one? All right, good. You guys get the game. Dak Prescott, when asked about upcoming contract negotiations said, quote, I don't play for money. Mm-hmm. Or mm-mm.
What?
What do you play for?
The hell do you play for?
I'm going to say, mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Listen, not everyone plays for money, Billy, okay?
Okay.
People have
Literally
all-
everyone plays for money. Every single person in the league plays for
I'm
money.
not saying I wouldn't be playing for money. I'm just saying some people love what they do so much, it's not about the money. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying, mm-hmm.
If I'm Jerry Jones, I'm sliding a contract over for $20 and saying, but with all the respect in the world. So that's what you're getting. You're getting all the respect in the world and $20. Go play.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I actually have a top 5 list here. It's funny that you brought this up. I have a top 5 reasons to play football.
Really?
Yeah.
Top 5 reasons to play football.
Yes. Yep. I
What is
do.
money
What a coincidence.
included?
Yeah, what a coincidence.
Just at the ready.
You know, listen, Billy, I have all these papers here, all of them. They're all top 5s. And so you brought this up, and I just figured,
Wow.
okay, I got a top 5.
When
Go to
in
the
Rome.
Rolodex.
Yes.
Exactly.
Number
When in Rome.
37.
Like we talked about the backup quarter, you brought up Tannehill, and I had my top 5 right here. My top 5 guys you don't want to see looking over your shoulder. I mean,
I like the idea of you having all these top 5s ready just in case they apply to anything we're talking about. And look at this today.
Yeah.
Knocked 2 off the list. What are the odds?
Oh, it's amazing. I have one that says Ravens, Chiefs, Jets, Packers, Raiders. Have no idea what we were doing that day, but it's here in case we need it, okay?
Wow. That's like my JJ McCarthy note.
What would that top 5 be? Ravens, Chiefs, Jets, Packers, Raiders. Like, potentially, what could it be? I don't know.
I don't know.
Wow,
Right.
I can't even think.
Right.
Because the Chiefs are in there, so it's not disappointments.
No.
No.
Right. But the Jets are in there, right? Exactly.
But the Jets and Raiders are in there, so it's not like
It's not elite
teams
teams.
that could win.
I think was that like teams to look out for or something that you did a couple weeks
I think
back?
it was. Yeah.
It's something like that.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Told you, got a top 5 for everything.
Yeah.
All right, these are top 5 reasons that you play football. You ready? OLI, Lombardi's.
Wow. OLI Lombardi's.
Yeah.
Thank goodness, otherwise Dak would quit playing.
Number 5, best seats in the house to watch the 49ers win a playoff game. These are the top
That's so
5
accurate.
reasons. You know what? I got my list mixed up. These are the top 5 reasons Dak plays quarterback in the NFL.
Okay, good. I was
Okay.
wondering if this was specific to Dak.
Mm-hmm. Number 4, long off seasons.
Yeah.
Number 3,
1 week into
fame.
the playoffs.
Number 2, fortune.
But that's
It's not money.
Yeah, that's money.
No, just
it's
fortunes.
in the neighborhood.
Oh. Number 1, for the love of the game. Like that.
I think that's what Dak's doing.
No money.
Mm-hmm.
Easy to say when you have money. I mean, uh-huh. Different game.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Or That's not this game though.
That's not
Different
this
game.
What an odd list to have. Top 5 reasons Dak Prescott plays football.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you had it.
Yeah. If you land on Joe Burrow, I got that too somewhere.
Okay. Well, here, let's do one last or for this week.
Mikey
Ready?
didn't answer yet, though, I don't think.
Oh, I think I did.
Oh.
I laughed at it and then said, mm-mm.
Okay.
Yeah, he answered. Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
It's okay.
Apologies.
All right. Last one here. Or
Okay.
Lamar Jackson
Mm-hmm.
now weighs 205 pounds. He says it's to be more agile. It's 10 pounds less than he weighed last season and 25 pounds less than he weighed in 2022. Again, because Lamar Jackson, the MVP, who led all quarterbacks in rushing yards, wants to be more agile. Or Mikey?
I'm going to go, agility was not the weak part of your game, sir.
He doesn't need more agility.
Respectful.
He's pretty agile.
Yeah.
It's weird, though, because he bulked up, so he's lost weight here. Running's a big part of his game. If you lose weight, it would suggest you don't want to run as much.
But he wants to be more agile.
To scramble around. It seems to me he wants to pass more.
Imagine a world in
Maybe work on
which Lamar Jackson thinks I'm not agile enough.
It's a weird world.
It's like me trying to gain weight.
What am I?
Right.
What am I if you're not agile? What am I, Lamar? Not that you're watching, and not that I'm criticizing, because again, you're welcome on this podcast.
Yes.
Even though right now Jordan Love leads the list of people welcome on this podcast to air out his dirty laundry against the Packers. So sorry.
Who's second? Will
Not
Levis?
offensively. Yeah.
I'm going to say
Wow.
It's not the game.
That's a different game though. We haven't played yet. This is or
What's the game?
Yeah, that's or That's next week.
Oh,
This
that's
is
right. That's
or
right.
Yeah,
I'm
come on.
going to say mm-mm.
Wow.
Plus football.
I think I want Lamar Jackson running. I want him. That's a big part of his game. He's the best running quarterback in the game. I want him to run.
Mm-hmm.